Hello everyone. So today we'll be dealing about the life processes, and the topic for today is circulatory system. So let's see what happens in circulatory system. What is circulation? What do you mean by the term circulation? Circulation actually refers to the movement of the things from one part to the another. And here the circulation is basically of the blood. So now let's see what all we are going to have in this particular life processes. So if I say about this life processes, then we are going to know what are its features, what all we need in this particular circulatory system, what are the organs of it which are going to circulate the blood. That means the heart. What is double circulation? What about the blood cells? What about the blood vessels which are going to carry on these blood vessels, and the lymphatic system, and system which goes parallel with this particular circulatory system, and the functions of it. So first, dealing with the heart. As you can see, this is a heart. Our heart is, the mammal's heart is four chamber. The four chamber heart has these two parts which are known as atrium, and the lower two parts, they are known as the ventricle. So if you can see here, these two parts, they are termed as in atrium, and these two parts, they are termed as in ventricle. For a heart, the two chambered, if we talk of, the right hand of your body is the left part of your diagram. So this is the left atrium and the left ventricle. And the one which is the left part of your hand is the right part of your body. So if I talk of, this is the right atrium and the right ventricle. Now if we talk of this particular heart, we have the other things also, and that is the presence, how this heart is going to receive something, how this heart is going to pump out the things out from its organ. So there are two important things. The one is the artery and another one is the vein. So as you can see, the arteries and the veins over here, the arteries, they are the one, as a general notification it is being done, that the arteries, they are shown with the red color, and the veins, they are shown with the blue color. For an arteries, if we talk of, the arteries, they carry the blood away from the heart. Everything which is moving away from the heart, you can see this is the one which is moving away from the heart, this is the one which is moving away from the heart. Now if it is moving away from the heart, what is actually causing this movement? This movement is all due to the arteries, the pressure in the arteries which is making this, the pressure in the heart which is making these things to go out. And when we talk of a vein, the veins are the one which drain the blood into the heart. Now for draining up, you can see this is the one which is draining the blood into the heart. So the first difference is the arteries carry blood away from the heart, the veins, they bring the blood towards the heart. Then the arteries, they are responsible for carrying up of the oxygenated blood. Now the oxygen is actually which is needed to be transported to the whole body, because our body needs energy, and that the oxidation of food needs oxygen. So that oxygen is actually pumped by this particular heart. And now the when CO2 is formed in the heart, that CO2 also needs to be, change into the O2 and then return back to the heart. For that returning, what is being needed is veins. So this is the artery and this is the vein if I talk of. So you can see a major internal difference also. The lumen of this artery is very small. If I talk of this and this, if you can compare these two, here the cavity side is very small in this arteries. But if I talk of a vein, the cavity side here you can see is comparatively large. So for an veins, we say the lumen is large, but for an artery, the lumen is very small. Now, the other important factor that could be noticed is the arteries are the one which do not have walls. While the veins, they have walls. If I talk of, the blood is moving from downward, that means from the legs, it needs to pump back into the heart so that it should get oxygenated. आपका blood नीचे गया था, ऑक्सीजन मिल गई उनको, अब cells ने CO2 बनाया है. That CO2 actually needs to come back. तो वो CO2 बाहर आने के लिए, the CO2 it needs to be come back into the heart. अब अगर नीचे से ऊपर आ रहा है तो क्या हो सकता है, ये ऑक्सीजन जो है आपका, ये ब्लड जो है वो धक्के से नीचे भी जा सकता है. आप सोचो कि आप बाल्टी जो है या कुएं में से निकाल रहे हो, या जस्ट टेकिंग अप, अब बाय चांस हाथ से छूट जाए, ठीक है, तो पानी सारा गिर जाएगा. तो अब प्रेशर से पानी नीचे से आ रहा है, लेकिन जरा सा प्रेशर लूज हुआ, द ब्लड विल गो डाउन. तो ये चीज ना हो, टू प्रोटेक्ट दिस, व्हाट इज देयर, the cells of the veins. With the veins, basically they have the walls inside them. Now the arteries are the one which are carrying the oxygenated blood. लेकिन एक exception होता है, that we'll see, and veins, they carry the deoxygenated blood, again with an exception. Now the major difference, the things which are we going to do about the heart is the chambers of the heart, the atrium, the ventricles, the four chambers, the right atrium and the left atrium, the right ventricle and the left ventricle, the veins and the arteries pouring the blood and taking the blood away from the heart, and the contraction and relaxation of the heart, which is actually pumping the blood into the body. Now, for the next, if we talk of this particular thing, these are the features of the circulatory system, comprising that our circulatory system is made up of blood, heart, blood vessels, lymph, the one with the oxygenated blood and the deoxygenated blood, then the chambers, the atrium and the ventricle, and the vessels. Now, the main thing which is pumping into our body is the blood. Now, if I talk of this blood, blood is made up of plasma and the formed elements. Now, what are these formed elements? These formed elements are the cells that are present in the blood. So, plasma is nothing but the water and the dissolved materials. Now, if I'm talking of these dissolved materials, these are the ones like glucose, amino acids, the antigens, the antibodies, the ions, the proteins which are floating into our blood, which are going from our heart to different parts. They are getting exchanged. It is just like a truck भरा हुआ आ रहा है, and that truck is supplying everything to each and every cell. For the formed element, if I talk of the erythrocyte, that is nothing but the RBC. RBC is having the hemoglobin, and hemoglobin is responsible for carrying up of oxygen. So our oxygen supply is due to this RBC. If I talk of these leukocytes, these leukocytes are the one which are going to basically help our body against immunity. They are the one which are going to provide immunity to our body, which are further divided into granulocytes and agranulocytes. So these are the different cells that are present in this particular leukocyte. These are the components of the WBC. Now the third component is the thrombocyte, which is nothing but the platelets. Now if I talk of the platelets are nothing but the one which are responsible for clotting. In dengue, the concentration of this platelet, it goes down. If RBC is less in your body, the hemoglobin content of your body will go down and will lead to anemia. If there will be less WBC, then your immunity will be low. So all of these elements of the blood, they are very important. Erythrocyte, the RBC, leukocyte, the WBC, and thrombocyte, the platelets. Moving to the arteries and veins, as I already discussed, that arteries, they gonna carry the blood away from the heart. The veins, they are carrying the blood towards the heart. They carry the oxygenated blood, except the pulmonary artery. We'll see the location of it. They are deep into the body, while veins, if you see your arms, you can see the green color vessels being seen, the green color lines being seen on your hand. These are nothing but the veins. They are carrying the deoxygenated blood back to your heart. The heart is a size of a fist. Now, this heart, the veins and the arteries, they are pouring this blood into this a fist-shaped heart. So this the pumping of this heart is regulated. The regulation is all through this arteries and veins, that the pumping of this blood should be in a regulated manner into each and every part of the cell, and from it should be always taken away, taken back to the heart. So the arteries, when they are carrying the blood, it needs to be flown with the pressure. The veins, they just carry the blood back to the heart in a normal way. They are under low pressure. And as stated, the arteries, they are having a wide, the veins, they are having the wide lumen, while the arteries, if we talk of, the arteries, they are having the narrow lumen. The walls, they are thick, and as a result, the lumen is less. The walls, they are thin, and that is why the lumen is large. If we see now, this is how our heart is there. If we see here, you can see these are the veins, the arrow coming here. You can see the veins, they are pouring the blood into the first chamber. Now these, the vena cava from the lower body, the vena cava from the upper body, they are pouring the blood into the right atrium. From the right atrium, it is going to the right ventricle. From right ventricle, it is moving to the back, away from the heart. Now, away from the heart is taken by the arteries. So, these two are the arteries. The arteries which are carrying the blood to the heart and to the lungs. And for lungs, we have the word known as pulmonary. So, this is pulmonary artery. Now, arteries carry oxygenated blood. Exceptionally, pulmonary artery carrying the deoxygenated blood. So here you can see the artery over here carrying the deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Now see, this is all blue colored, which states that this blood is deoxygenated. When it goes to the lungs, via diffusion, they exchange their O2 and CO2, and finally the oxygenated blood is given to the vein. Now the vein, they carry the deoxygenated blood. But here you can see this vein is carrying the oxygenated blood. So this is again an exception, but its function is same. It is pouring the blood towards the heart, and that is why it is vein. So here the pulmonary vein pouring the blood into the left atrium. From left atrium, it moves into the left ventricle, and from left ventricle, it is moving away from the heart. And again, this is an artery taking away from the heart, and the name of this artery is aorta. Now, when this particular thing occurs, the aorta carries the blood to the body. This is how the body is now working off. You give O2 to each and every cell of your body. Your body cells, they convert this O2 with the help of glucose. That means respiration, C6H12O6 plus 6O2 gives 6CO2 plus 6H2O, and then the energy is released. Now this 6CO2, the CO2 is traveled back to the heart for getting oxygenated. So this is how the pumping of the heart is there. How the heart is actually pumping up and making the blood move away from the heart to the lungs and to the whole body, and then bringing back that particular blood to the heart and to the lungs. Now you can see your blood is moving twice into the heart. The one time you can see the blue colored one, the deoxygenated blood, it comes and then goes back to the lungs. The second case, the oxygenated blood comes into the heart and goes back. Now, since these two type of circulation, they are occurring, the human heart, it shows double circulation. You can see this heart with the blue color showing the veins. They are pouring the blood into this particular heart, and this brownish color is basically the pulmonary vein pouring the oxygenated blood, and the red color one, the aorta, pouring the oxygenated blood to the body. So here, if you can see, the deoxygenated blood from the body, from the vena cava, goes to the right atrium, from where it moves to the right ventricle, from right ventricle it goes to the lungs via pulmonary artery. From there it returns back to the heart by the help of the left atrium, and then to the left ventricle, and finally to the body parts via aorta it is circulated. So this is in case of the human being. This is in case of the mammals. What about the other animals that are present on this earth? Basically the vertebrates. The vertebrates which were as classified into Pisces, the classes being the Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, aves and mammals. You know, the Pisces, they have two-chambered heart. The amphibians, they have three-chambered heart. So do the reptiles. The birds and mammals, they have four-chamber heart. नाउ अगर ये दो चेम्बर्ड हार्ट है तो इसके पास एक ऑरिकल और एक वेंट्रिकल है. But in case of here you can see the amphibian and reptile, it is having two auricles but one ventricle. For birds it's two auricle and two ventricles. In case of this particular vertebrate hearts, the fishes, if you can see, the deoxygenated blood is carried only once, and the oxygenated blood from the gills becomes deoxygenated and returns in the form of deoxygenated only. So the heart of the fishes, they only receive deoxygenated blood. But in case of the other organisms, say it the reptiles, say it the amphibians, aves and mammals, there is double circulation. So fishes, two-chamber heart, single circulation. The other one, the reptiles and the amphibians, they are having the three-chamber heart with double circulation. The crocodiles, four-chamber heart with double circulation, and birds and mammals with four-chamber heart. Here you can see, if we compare the chambers of the birds and mammals, they are distinct. The lower chambers, the ventricles, but here you can see the ventricles, they are comparatively joined. Now if they are joined, you can see अगर आपके पास दो एक कंटेनर इस तरीके से है तो आप चाहे इसके अंदर पोर कर रहे हो, यहाँ तक जब तक कंटेंट आएगा तब तक तो दोनों चेम्बर्स में लिक्विड अलग अलग होगा. बट वंस व्हेन इट विल फिल अप टू दिस पर्टिकुलर कंटेंट, तो क्या होगा, ऑक्सीजनेटेड डीऑक्सीजनेटेड दोनों मिक्स हो जाएंगे. सो डस अकर्स इन द एम्फीबियंस एंड द reptiles. Now in case of the birds and mammals, what is the case? The things you can see, the two chambers are comparatively different. ये अगर artery है तो ये अगर एक वेंट्रिकल है तो ये दूसरा वेंट्रिकल है. सो देयर आर नो चांसेस ऑफ मिक्सिंग. ऊपर ये ऑरिकल्स है, नीचे ये वेंट्रिकल्स है. सो देयर आर नो चांसेस ऑफ मिक्सिंग अप ऑफ दिस थिंग, एंड दैट इज व्हाई दिस इज एन important factor for the mammals and birds. You can say they have a higher efficiency, they need lot of energy, and that is why there is no mixing. Being complex organisms, they have a double circulation and the separated four chamber. Now along with this system, the circulatory system, there runs a particular system in our body, and this is known as the lymphatic system. Now in this lymphatic system, if I talk of, I can see that this is basically, here you can see, this is the arteriole. This is the arteriole which is carrying the oxygenated blood here. Now this oxygenated blood, when it flows, it has this green color capillary running all together around it. Red and blue you already know, red for the oxygenated, blue for the deoxygenated. Now what about this green colored particular things? This green colored thing, if I'm talking of, this green colored thing here is basically the lymphatic capillaries. Now these lymphatic capillaries, what they do, ये जब ब्लड होता है, ब्लड के अंदर कुछ कंपोनेंट्स ऐसे होते हैं, जैसे आप ब्लड के अंदर 5 लीटर ब्लड होना चाहिए, ठीक है, आपकी बॉडी में 5 लीटर ब्लड जो है, दैट्स एन फिक्स अमाउंट, 5 to 6 लीटर्स यू कैन से. अब आप रोज पानी एक्स्ट्रा पानी अगर पीते जा रहे हो तो वो 5 to 6 लीटर ब्लड जो है वो एक्स्ट्रा हो जाएगा. Now that extra blood water needs to be removed off. तो हर एक चीज आपकी बॉडी में अगर कुछ भी एक्स्ट्रा हो रही है तो वो तो यूरिन के थ्रू तो जाएगा ही, बट दैट एक्स्ट्रा शुड बी also be given to the रिस्पेक्टिव वेसल जो उसके साथ चल रही है, एंड दैट वेसल इज नोन एज द लिम्फेटिक वेसल. तो ये जो ग्रीन कलर की कैपिलरीज एंड दीज आर द लिम्फेटिक कैपिलरीज, जिनका काम क्या होता है, फॉर इफ आई से दैट दीज आर द टू कैपिलरीज रनिंग टुगेदर, ये मेरे पास दो कैपिलरी हैं, और इफ आई हैव दिस सेल इन टुगेदर टू इट, ठीक है, तो ये सेल क्या करेगा, ये सेल अपने एक्स्ट्रा कंपोनेंट्स, here you can see this is a cell, this will give its extra component to this particular vessel. ये आपकी आर्टरी है या वेन है, this will also give its extra components to this particular vessel. तो अब इसके अंदर की कंसंट्रेशन मेंटेन रहेगी, इसके अंदर की कंसंट्रेशन मेंटेन रहेगी. ये क्या करेगा, this vessel is actually responsible for carrying the extra things in your body. जैसे अगर पानी आ रहा है, ठीक है, तो आपके टैंक अगर ऊपर टंकी है वो भर चुकी है, नाउ व्हाट, अब उस एक्स्ट्रा पानी, और ये पता चले कि 3-4 दिन तक पानी नहीं आने वाला है, then what you will do, you will try to fill up that particular water into different vessels, कि अभी ये वाला यूज कर लेंगे, टैंकी वाला बाद में यूज कर लेंगे. So lymphatic vessel is actually carrying that particular amount. जितनी भी एक्स्ट्रा चीजें हैं that are being stored, इधर से उधर से एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर फ्लूइड को वो कलेक्ट करके रखती है, ताकि जब नीड हो that could be given back to the cell or to the blood. And secondly, if I talk of this particular, the other thing, इसके अंदर फैट्स ट्रेवल करते हैं. जो हमारी स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन है, स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन से जो एब्जॉर्प्शन होता है फैट का, वो इन लिम्फेटिक कैपिलरीज से होता है. देन इफ आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ इस पर्टिकुलर ब्लड लिम्फ के अंदर, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज WBC. द कंटेंट ऑफ WBC इज हाई, तो ये आपकी ऑल्सो इट हेल्प्स इन प्रोवाइडिंग इम्यूनिटी टू योर बॉडी. सो एज यू कैन सी, इट प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल in the absorption of the fats. It helps in collecting the excess fluid from the cell. It helps in delivering the excess fluid to the bloodstream or from the bloodstream, and it also helps in delivering the foreign particles to the lymph node. Now if I am talking of lymph node, this is the lymph node. lymph node क्या है, बहुत सारी lymphatic capillaries मिली है. इमेजिन करो कि आपके घर में बहुत सारी वायर्स है और वो जाके स्विच बोर्ड पे लग गई है. नाउ दैट स्विच बोर्ड इज बेसिकली लिम्फेटिक ऑर्गन, और एक एक बटन जो है उसका लिम्फेटिक नोड है, एक एक वायर जो अंदर डली हुई है, दैट इज द लिम्फेटिक कैपिलरी. नाउ ऑल दे आर कनेक्टेड टू द मेन MCB. Now this main MCB is what? That is the heart से फिर वो finally connected हो जाएगी. So this is how the things they occur in case of the lymphatic system, which is a system which is going to control the blood, which is an assistant of the सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम, कि तुम्हारे को कोई प्रॉब्लम ना हो इसलिए मुझे अपने सारे कंटेंट्स दे दो. सेल, you should not have any problem. If you have anything extra, you have waste, you have anything, you just give it to me. I'll drain out in the kidney or into the ejection part so that they could be removed from the body. When you will be needing it, I'll give you back to you, maybe in the arteries or into the cell. So this lymphatic system and the circulatory system, they are again a very important thing. So thank you all for this particular session, and let's hope that you have understood everything. Thank you very much.